Now, in just 10 days to the US election, and both candidates are still campaigning hard. Donald Trump arrived several hours late to his rally in Michigan.
People came to me, sir, we could cancel our evening event. I'm sure the people wouldn't mind. I said, are you crazy? I'm not canceling. There's no way. I'm not canceling. There's no way. We never even... So I apologize, but you know, it's all about winning. We got to win, and we did some things today that will help us win. I think we did a lot of taping, a lot of this, a lot of that, a lot of everything.
Meanwhile, in Texas, Vice President Kamala Harris was joined on stage by a very special guest.
It's time to sing a new song. A song that began 248 years ago. The old notes of downfall, discord, despair no longer resonate. Our generations of loved ones before us are whispering a prophecy, a quest, a calling, an anthem. Our moment right now, it's time for America to sing a new song. Our voices sing a chorus of unity. They sing a song of dignity and opportunity.
That's Beyoncé. Apologies there for the quality of the audio, but she was saying it's time for America to sing a new song. So Beyoncé on stage in Houston, Texas, which is a very red state. I wonder why the Democrats are targeting Texas. Perhaps they think that they have a chance, perhaps not just for the turning it blue, but also it's Ted Cruz, the senator there. Perhaps they're targeting his seat. Now, in these final days, the US government agencies are stepping up their efforts to guard against attempts at foreign interference. An Iranian hacking group known as Cotton Sandstorm has allegedly targeted election-related websites and media outlets, and the FBI said that it is investigating allegations that Chinese hackers targeted data on Donald Trump and J.D. Vance's phones. But it's not just foreign interference in the US that there is to worry about. General mistrust in the integrity of the US elections has only grown since Donald Trump claimed that the 2020 race was stolen from him. Of course, there's no evidence that's ever been produced for that. And now a growing movement called the Voter Integrity Movement is prepared to do something about it if Trump doesn't win. Nina Jankowicz is the co-founder and CEO of American Sunlight Project, a non-profit that combats disinformation, and the former executive director of a Homeland Security Advisory Board on disinformation. And I'm delighted to say that Nina joins us now. Nina, good afternoon.
Thanks for having me.
Nina, let's start with the foreign interference. How worrying is it that we see that China possibly has tried to access Donald Trump and J.D. Vance phones? Iran hacking group had a go at it. Is this as worrying as it sounds, or is it actually par for the course? We know that hostile governments are trying to hack into systems worldwide for every government, no matter whether in an election cycle or not.
Yeah, so we have seen the big three, China, Russia, and Iran, attempting to either access election systems or access candidate or campaign information, sometimes successfully, sometimes not, over the past 8 years. I think the United States systems have been hardened. When I'm talking about electoral systems, they've been hardened. Unfortunately, we've seen the Trump campaign seemingly fall prey to this a couple of times, both from Iran and now allegedly, according to reporting from the Journal yesterday, from China as well. This is pretty worrying. It shows kind of a lack of adaptability to the current moment and perhaps a disbelief in the fact that foreign entities are targeting the campaigns. I think there's been a belief in the Republican Party that disinformation is good because it tends to kneecap the Democrats. But I have always said disinformation and election interference, these are democratic small d issues. These are not partisan issues, and they can come for any of us at any time. And certainly I think the regimes in Iran and China have reason to attempt to smear the Trump-Vance campaign as well. But let's not forget that Russia also continues to target the U.S. We just saw in the last 24 hours in a viral video alleging ballots being destroyed in Pennsylvania that the Office of the Director of National Intelligence and 2 other law enforcement and intel agencies have come out and said this actually came from Russia. This was a Russian influence operation, and it has gained millions of views on social media. So here we are 10 days from an election. The government is trying to step up to these threats, but the electorate has become so divided that the response to, the ODNI announcement about Russia's influence operations was, oh, you guys are just shilling for the Biden administration. It's extremely worrisome that this is where we are.
What are the tools, Nina, that the government has in its disposal to catch these viral videos early and take them out of commission, if you like? I mean, that's the key, isn't it? To try and get them off those social media platforms as soon as possible before they spread. Because once they spread, even if you put out a correction or proof that they were falsely put together or maliciously put together, it's a bit too late, isn't it?
Right. It's the old saying that a lie's made it halfway around the world before the truth even has its shoes on. Now, I think in this case, it was really heartening to see the government's response so quickly after this viral video. But even then, as you said, you can put the genie back in the bottle. The government has a couple of different parts that are responding to foreign interference and election disinformation. There is the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, which is at DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, which unites all of the intelligence agencies. The FBI has parts in this, so it does a part of the State Department called the Global Engagement Center. But unfortunately, and this might not be kind of headline news in the UK, but there has been a real pushback and attack on all of these agencies over the past 2.5 years. In fact, even the group that I led, which was just meant to be a coordination cell within DHS, was attacked as the Ministry of Truth and Censorship, even though we would have had no power to remove anything that was on the internet or even instruct social media platforms to do so. So this entire realm has become extraordinarily politicized. And as a result, the government, I think, is a little bit more circumspect than they would be otherwise. They are hesitant to engage in this stuff because, as I said on my social media profiles last night when this announcement came out, the people who are making these announcements know full well that if Trump is reelected, they may be the first who are among the fired. I mean, Trump has widely said he's going to gut the civil service, right? So they're putting their necks on the line in order to inform the public. The question is whether the public will listen. And according to the analysis that we've done at American Sunlight, that's not going to happen. And the social media platforms are doing less of the content moderation that they used to do. American Sunlight just found an 1,100 plus account bot network that's been around for over 10 years on Twitter, now X. Twitter has done nothing about it. We notified them through the media over 2 weeks ago, and the bot network is still tweeting about all sorts of divisive issues and certainly spreading election disinformation as well. And we, as far as we can tell, this is connected to the Russian government.
Nina, thank you for giving us your time. Fascinating to speak to you. I wish we had a little bit more time, but perhaps we can speak again. Nina Jankowicz, there, co-founder and CEO of the American Sunlight Project, a non-profit that combats disinformation.